Hello. I'm hoping you can hear me. I think there's a bit of a lag on my stream. Hi, whoever's watching. Can you just let me know if you can hear me in real time or if this is lagging a little bit? If so, that's no worries. All right, so I'll just get started. I hope everyone's well. I hope that you are all having a good day so far and that you can hear me as well properly. Um, I decided to do this live before I started this course, just to let you know a little bit more about why I'm doing it and just give you a bit more of an idea about what it's going to entail. So I decided to do this free course, free challenge, because at the moment a lot of us are in lockdown. So this is a time when there's going to be a lot of stress around the world. There's going to be a lot of anxiety collectively, just by people not really knowing what's going to happen next. I know that I felt it. Kind of the collective energy of the world is a little bit strange. So I wanted to do this challenge just so that we could really get deep into our yin yoga practice. And there's some of you that have never practiced yin before, but there'll be lots of you that have practiced yin a lot of times. So yin yoga is a perfect practice for right now because it helps us to get into stillness. And stillness is really important because even though we may not be able to go anywhere and we might be confined into our houses, we might still have a really, really busy mind. We might still have lots of thoughts going around, lots of stressful ideas. And what yin yoga does, and one of the reasons that I love it, is it helps us to slow right down into this space of quiet. It helps us to be with ourselves and all of those emotions that are happening right now, and it allows us to accept them and allows us to know that we are more than those things that are happening to us right now as well. So those are a few reasons why I absolutely love this practice, and I hope that you will really benefit from doing 7 days of yin yoga consistently. I remember one of my teachers once challenged me and said, because I'm the sort of person that really loves to do a dynamic practice, and I'm quite a busy person as well. I always set myself lots of goals, lots of ideas, all those kinds of things. So I'm the sort of person that needs stillness. So one of my teachers once said to me, what happens if you just do yin yoga or restorative yoga for the next kind of 7 days, 2 weeks, and just see what happens? And straight away my mind went to, oh no, but what about, staying strong? What about all of these other things that I get from my dynamic practice? And actually, it was one of the most amazing things that I've ever done, that restorative and yin yoga for a period of, I think I managed to do it for 10 days. But it was really, really powerful. So I hope that you can experience some of these benefits as well. I kind of wanted to give you guys some tips. So I'm still hoping that you can hear me. This is my first YouTube live, so just let me know if there's any problems with it, and just type me a comment. Hi everyone who's watching. It's so nice to have you here. So yeah, I thought I'd give you some tips, and oh, it's saying that it's loading. Okay, so I'm going to carry on regardless of the technology. I'm just fingers crossed that you can still hear me. So I love practicing yin yoga in the morning because this is actually the most beneficial time for us to practice. Essentially, our muscles are really Yay, thank you, Sarah. Our muscles are really cold in the morning, and what we're trying to do in yin yoga is we're trying to access those deeper layers of ourselves. So we're trying to access beyond the muscles. In a dynamic practice, we'll be trying to warm the muscles to help us move safely. But in a yin practice, we're trying to actually elongate and elasticate the ligaments, the tendons, the fascia, which is a web of tissue, like a web of fibers that go around your body and support us. And then sometimes we're even trying to move bones and really deep inside. So it helps us if our practice is in the morning, because we can actually get deeper into those places. If you don't like practicing yin yoga in the morning, or you don't have time, that's fine. But hey. But this is just a tip that I have, and one of the most powerful times that I've practiced yin is through doing it in the morning times, because then the benefits can seep right down into your day. That was my partner that just walked in. I don't think he realized I was doing this live. The second tip that I have is to play music. If you like playing music, I've got lots of, oh hi, this is Kira, everybody. She's our little kitten that's staying with us. I've got lots of playlists online that will be really relaxing and sometimes can help us to just get out of our heads if we're kind of up in our brains for yin yoga. And that's okay. Yin yoga is all about being with where we are at. So if you're finding that you're having lots of thoughts, then, oh, she's attacking me now. Then you can always just play some music, and this links nicely to my next tip, which is to just do some gentle breathing at the start of each of your practices. So she's really attacking me. So when you're breathing in yin yoga, this is just a way to help us come back into our bodies and into this present moment, which is really what our yin practice is about. And this tip really helps because it helps us just to get the most out of our practice. If you give yourself 30 minutes, which each of these videos are, if you give yourself 30 minutes to practice, you really want to be getting the most out of this for your body, your mind, and your soul. And so you can really focus in those 30 minutes. You can really have a date with yourself. Give yourself this time to rest and restore and just be still. And it's such a beautiful practice for just allowing us to connect back in with our true selves. And then the final practice, this kitten really doesn't want me to talk to you guys. The final practice is, the final tip that I have for you, sorry, very distracting, is to not go too deep into your yin poses. So because this is an online challenge and you're going to be doing it through YouTube and there won't be any physical teacher, it's a really good opportunity for you to explore your body, explore where your limits are, explore where your body is speaking this language to you, because the body speaks to us all the time, right? It speaks to us through sensation and emotions, and you may find that there are emotions that come up for you when you're holding some of these poses. That's super, super common. And just being able to be with these emotions is really the practice of yin yoga. It's just allowing them to occur and being present with them, because we know that emotions don't define us. We are more than our emotions. Emotions are really useful, but they can get stored in our bodies. So if you have some emotions that come up when you're quite deep in a pose, it might be beneficial for you to kind of relax back or even rest if they're really strong. So that's another one of my tips. So this 7 days of yin yoga, each day will be going through a different meridian line, which is an energy point in our body, energy lines, and they each relate to different organs in the Chinese traditional medicinal theory. And if you guys are signed up to my newsletter, which I'll link a little link to at the bottom of this, if that's possible at the end, then I'm going to be sending out lots of information on each meridian, because it's such a detailed topic. There's so much to learn and so much to explore and journal about, and it's so rich in yin yoga. So I'll be sending out some information about each meridian and how you can work with them through my newsletter. So if you just want that extra bit of challenge from this challenge, then you can sign up using the link below. So tomorrow we will start with the kidney meridian, which is a really powerful meridian and runs all the way from our feet up our inner thighs and into our kidneys and then up into the upper body. So the practice tomorrow will be a lot focused on external rotation of the legs and getting into those inner thighs, which are really rich areas for energy lines in our body. And I think that is mostly what I wanted to say. This kitten is still attacking me. Does anybody have any questions about what I've said or anything that's going to happen during this week? I'll also link some playlists for your practice to each day, and you can also just find your own music if you like to, but make sure that it's relaxing, make sure that it's not too kind of dynamic. So I'll just hang around if anyone's got any questions. Each video is going to go live at 7 p.m. UK time, which is this time 11 a.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time, which is where I am right now in Canada. So you could practice, if you want to practice in the morning, you could practice the next morning. Or if you wanted to practice in the evening, you could join the practice live. It's going to be, which means that you can watch it as it's being shown for the first time, kind of like a film premiere, which is quite cool for YouTube. So you can set a reminder for yourself if you want to practice when it's premiering, and then, yeah, have a go. Sarah, I will definitely link you the playlists. I will put them underneath each video, and I will make sure that I'll just remind you about the playlists as well and where they are. Well, thank you so much for joining me live. Let me know if you have any other questions, and I will put the link to subscribe to my email list down below. If you've never practiced yin yoga before and you have any questions at all, just give me a message or comment below on the YouTube video, and I'll be happy to answer them. Some of these poses can be quite strong, and that's really normal, especially if you've not practiced it before. You might find that, ouch! You might find that during your first practice, you'll have a lot of thoughts coming around in your mind. Often when we have the body coming to stillness, the mind starts to kind of talk to us a lot more. So that's really normal. Just try and come back to your breathing. And, oh, good point. Do you need props? So I will remind you at the start of each video what props you might need. But if you don't have specific yoga props, like if you don't even have a yoga mat, you can practice on a blanket. And it might even be nice to lay a blanket down on your yoga mat so that you can find a bit more comfort. It's all about being comfortable in yin yoga. And then I love to always have 2 cushions nearby. If you have a bolster, that's perfect, but you can use like a pillow that you sleep on, or 2 or 3. And then in terms of blocks, those are really, really helpful. But if you don't have blocks, you can use books like encyclopedias that are really thick, things that you can find around the house. And then for Shavasana, for the resting pose, you might like to cover yourself with a blanket, so it might be helpful to have 2 blankets. Or you might even like to have like an eye pillow or like a weighted scarf on top of your eyes, and this just can really help with deep relaxation. So good question, thank you for that, Sarah. Any other questions for me and the kitty cat before I go? You can always ask me any other questions online or through YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. She's now having a look. But if you don't have any other questions right now, then we'll say bye-bye. And thank you so much for joining us today. She doesn't feature in any of the videos, so don't worry, you won't be distracted by her. Sending you all lots of love, and I really hope that you enjoy this challenge. Mwah. Thank you for joining us.